Good afternoon. Today I wanted to walk through the only way that I would sell one-on-one coaching if I was a coach of any description, whether that was a therapist, a somatic healer, a fitness coach, a business coach. It doesn't matter what type of coaching you do. This, in my opinion, is the only thing. And I have generated over 1,800 customers in the last 11 years in my own coaching business. And I've done everything from selling physical books to courses to digital books to cohorts to digital products to one-on-one coaching to done-for-you ads and agency work. Pretty much everything that you could do within the coaching consultant space. And what I see often is that you get really good coaches who are amazing practitioners, but terrible business people. And I mean, you don't even necessarily need to be a great business person, but just understand what the best way to structure something is in order to get maximum income, impact, and independence in both their business and for their customer. And so what you've got to understand is that people aren't buying coaching. That's not what they want. They don't want a therapy session. They don't want a coaching session. They don't want the fat loss plan. They don't want the business advice. What they want on the other side of that is the outcome, the transformation. And so the more that we can get you very clear on what transformation you provide for your people, the more that we can package something that's actually going to be valuable. And I had a conversation with a potential client today around his business and what he was helping people achieve. And basically, in a nutshell, you have to have some kind of clear transformation that you can really put a finger on and be very, if I say I help people lose weight, it's hard to put your finger on that. But if I say I help people get shredded and six-pack abs, you can put your finger on that very easy, although very overdone. And there was this idea of like helping men transition through life from, partying, going out, drinking, boozing, to wanting to settle down, call in their queen, build a family. And so the transformation is like fuckboy to devoted husband, right? And if you think about that as an identity shift from fuckboy to somebody who is trusted as a man who can father a child, who can be a devoted husband, like there's a very clear and differentiated transition from one to the other. And so when you start to put a program together like that, instead of selling one-on-one coaching by the session at like 30, 40, 50, 60 quid an hour, and you put together a 6-month program that is transformational and helps people get a really clear and defined outcome, then you could start charging way, way more. Again, if I was helping divorced men be free in the world again and call in the love of their life, that's a huge transformation. But if I was just selling single therapy sessions, what's usually going to happen is I'm going to end up dealing with the drama that's gone on in their life over the last week with their divorce that's going through, or their co-parenting situation. I'm not actually going to help them move towards the thing that they really, truly want in their life. And so when we're packaging stuff, we need to think of what is our signature system? What is the blueprint? What is the step-by-step play that we're helping people implement into their life, right? How do we help them become highly paid? In my work, it's like helping people become highly paid, truly independent, and working with dream clients. And when you can help someone do that and package something of true transformation, like the outcomes are incredible. One of my clients, Ryan, he's a natural health coach, and many years ago, he was personal training on the gym floor, but he had an amazing story for one, and number two, like skill set. He was able to help people like really truly heal chronic illness, but he didn't know how to package that. And so we started by putting together a 90-day program. It was 1,500 quid, then it went to 2,000, then 2,500, and then 3,000. And now for his one-to-one clients, he commands 10,000 pounds of dollars. I can't remember which one it is, but he went from a personal trainer selling sessions to creating total revival health. And this is the thing that you've got to understand, is like get very clear on the transformation that you are providing for people, because when you do that, it takes away the value from single sessions and places the value on the transformation and the outcome. The cost of your program should be in direct proportion to the size of the journey that someone needs to make and the cost of staying where they're at, the cost of staying stuck. And so, for example, what is the cost of the fuck boy who never gets out of his adolescent behavior, never calls in his wife, never becomes a dad? What is the true cost to him? And then when we start thinking about that, well, the impact of that is huge over his entire life. He's gonna miss out on so many of the joys of life because he couldn't get his shit together. Suddenly the 50, 60 quid an hour that we were gonna sell for coaching becomes insignificant, and the outcome that we could help him provide is massive. Same thing with the divorced dad who wants to find true love. What if he never finds true love ever again? Because we didn't create a process or a system to help him go through the fire and come out the other side. And when you really get clear on the transformation, you get very clear on the outcome that you provide, and the clear differentiated like start to finish, life is drastically different. Many of my clients go from 0 to 3, 5, 7, 8K a month to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 a month. Recently a client did. And that's life changing. But if I was just selling per session, I'd be massively underserving that person and underselling the requirement of the transformation. We never think about that. There is a huge cost to somebody buying something that isn't going to solve the problem. And you've got to think of this as like if somebody had a bleeding neck, right? You don't want 1,000 steps to solve the bleeding neck. You don't want somebody to put a plaster on that either. You want somebody to stop the bleeding. And that's essentially what we've got to get really, really good at as coaches, is like, what is the bleeding neck problem that I'm solving? And so back to the original thing, if I was to sell one-on-one coaching, I would sell it as a part of a bigger picture, as a part of a bigger thing. It would be essentially an outcome-based program, right? So I'd sell one-on-one coaching as an outcome-based program where I had a clear curriculum that people would work through, and then I would coach on that specific curriculum. So I'd get them to go through it, and then our coaching would be like, how did you get on with X, Y, Z? What are you struggling with? For example, there's no benefit in me teaching my clients how to create a signature system when I have a module that walks them through the entire thing. Then my coaching with them is about sharpening that and making it better. There is no point in me teaching them how to run ads one-to-one on a call. I have training modules that show them how to set everything up, and then I can see that and go, hey, I would change this, I would tweak this. No point me teaching them how to write email marketing campaigns one-on-one. I give them the campaign and the templates, and then I help them by coaching them through that thing. And so you've got to understand that your coaching, if it's not curriculum focused and outcome focused, if it's not moving towards a future, then what you're actually doing is just dealing with the drama of their life. The inevitable thing that crops up if you're, doing weight loss or fat loss with somebody and you don't have a specific process to go through with them, you're probably going to deal with like Sandra fucking fell off the wagon again and couldn't stick to a diet. So come on, Sandra. Like, I was a personal trainer back in 2009, 2010, and that's what I was dealing with every week. They'd come in for their session. I'd be, Sandra, did you stick to your diet last week? Oh, no, life was busy. Did you get in the gym? Oh, work was just so busy. I was so tired. And I was dealing with the same shit over and over and over again because I didn't have a blueprint to walk people through. And this is the mistake. And so the 3 things that you need, if you're gonna do one-on-one coaching, no matter whether it's one-on-one or whatnot, is I would always stick people in a community so they've got other people on the journey with them to lean on when things get inevitably tough, so that they can support each other. 3 relationships you need: somebody to contribute to, somebody to walk the path with, and somebody to learn from. And that's what community does. Number 2, you need a curriculum, something to take them from pain, Hell Island to promised land. And that's incredibly important. If you don't get that right, you're gonna struggle just dealing with bullshit, and you're gonna hate what you do very, very quickly, especially if you're doing one-on-one coaching. And then the 3rd piece is that you need context/coaching around the curriculum that you provide for people. When you have those 3 things, you create impact, you have freedom, and you have the ability to make a lot more money than you would if you were just selling per session, because suddenly you can start going from, per session to $500 to £1,000 to $1,500 to $2,000 to $5,000 programs. And there is evidence in every market under the sun of people charging infinitely more than you are for the thing that you are doing, and doing a very, very, very freaking good job of it. So I promise you, if you are doing one-to-one coaching right now, this is the pathway. If you are struggling with this, you want some help in creating a highly transformational program. It's going to change lives, yours and the clients at the same time, which I think is important. I think you should get wealthy as you help your clients solve problems. Then give me a shout. All right, catch y'all soon. Peace.